So, once more again, good afternoon, guys. Today it will be the first lecture of normal physiology. Unfortunately, the last time has been cancelled for some reason. I wouldn't repeat it again. So we will start the new topic according to the schedule. I just wanna compress the time. The attendance is very important to attend the lecture and to follow, because in your faculty it's only one lecture into 2 weeks. Is it true?
Yeah.
So that's why it's very important to attend and to follow the schedule. Today's subject is the homeostasis. But before I'm gonna through the subject itself, I would like to advise you to have a piece of paper and to write most of the information or the important information to return it back. That's why how you will receive the information and it will be also in mind. Yes? So what does it mean, guys, physiology? Anyone can give me a definition? What does it mean, physiology? Please? Any other definition, please?
Science of body function.
Please, raise your voice. It's study of?
Body function.
Exactly. That's the exact definition of the meaning of what does it mean physiology. Physio, from the Greek language, what does it mean the nature? Yes? Logy, it's just studying, so it's studying of the nature of the organs, please. So that's the definition of the word physiology. What we are interested actually in normal physiology is the studying the mechanism, the working of the organs, yes, or a systemic, respiratory or cardio-systematic, so on. Yes? So that's the main idea, the purpose, the aim of studying normal physiology. Normal physiology, it doesn't study the illness or the diseases. So it's always studying the nature, the healthy organisms, to be more specific. Yes, as well as we mentioned before, it's not only specific organisms, it might be also a systematic, yes, or a cells, from the cells into the systematic itself, yes. Here in this slide, we discuss the purpose, as I mentioned before, according to the normal physiology. Why the scientists are compress the meaning of normal physiology. Normal physiology working on the aim of how the organism is working and the mechanism. As a physiologist, it's not important to not important in this moment. I mean, to know the result, but to study the mechanism. How does it work? That's the base of the normal physiology. As well, to studying the function of each organism or each system. In the first semester, it will be the schedule of your time will be according to the introduction to the normal physiology. After that, we will study the action potential. As well, we will explain the electricity of the body, how to start, how to appear, and the interaction between the body and the electricity. After that, we will study the transmission or the neurotransmissions according to the musculoskeletal system, as well to the neuro system. That's according to the first semester. However, the second semester will be systematic. We will start from the central nervous system, how does it work, as well respiratory, cardio, the main or the amazing moment is to study even not even the mechanism, but even the regulation. That's what we are all here working on, the homeostasis. We will understand what does it mean as a terminology, homeostasis, and the relation between it and the science which we are right now studying in. So, here in this slide, it's better to take a picture right now so you will also follow, and you may write all the nominants which I'm telling during the lecture. So as a word, physiology is the study of body function and functions regulation. Because if we are studying the function, I will tell one word. When we born into the life, we born as a normal physiology, yes? Since newborns, they are healthy, socially as well, mentally, physically. So we can tell in this world, normal physiology, this human body, let me say. If he fell in illness or fell in disease, he returned from normal physiology to pathophysiology, which it is not the aim of normal physiology, guys. So always normal physiology studying the normal function of the organisms and its regulation. Yes? So that's the important moment as well. During the studying the mechanisms of an organisms, for example, if I ask any one of you right now to run for 5 minutes, yes? Because the physiology, it is an experimental science, so it has been started on a knowledge in a basic of experiment. It's not like illusions, it's not like a fake science, yes? So this information which you're gonna study this semester, it has been based on experiment. So if I ask any one of you guys right now to make an experiment for a running for 3, 4, 5 minutes maybe, and we will study the changes into his body. According, for example, what do you think? What's your name, please? Ahmed. If we ask Ahmed to run for 5 minutes in this closed room for 5 minutes, and I ask each one of you to study the changes into Ahmed's body, what do you think will be appear in his, for example, breathing? Please?
Faster, short breaths.
Exactly. The breathing will be fast and short. What do you think, guys, also about the cardio and the heart? What will be changed? The heart rate will be more speed. Is it true?
Yeah, that's true.
So, this experiment, which we applicate on Ahmed's body, it's a studying of normal physiology. Yes? And so on. In normal physiology, there is many experiments. Okay. During this rapidly running, if we also we studied the increase of the organism's function. What about the decrease? Also, we studied the decrease function of the studying of the experimental organisms. So, studying the function of an organism as well its regulation with paying attention on decreasing and increasing on the function level. Is it understood?
Yes.
Any question? Is it clear, guys, in the end? Please, can you stand? Yes, you are. We were talking about the mechanisms in increasing and decreasing. Does it affect in the normal physiology or a pathophysiology? Normal physiology. Okay. I just want to control that you are with us. Thank you so much. Yes,
I
please.
have a question. Is like sweating from the skin from the experiment we just talked about running? Is there sweat and stuff like that that has something to do with physiology?
Please, we want to listen. We don't want like individual conversations. One of your colleagues asking me if like the sweating glands function. One of experimental studying on normal physiology as well. We will understand that the regulation of normal physiology, like basis on two regulation, humoral regulation, which the endocrine system part of it, as well neural regulation. Yes? So we will like check that with that time. Okay. The same idea as we mentioned. You may take a picture as well. Have you taken a picture? According to the musculoskeletal system, when I'm telling like musculoskeletal system, which is like muscles, tissue as well for the bones, yes? If I ask, what's your name? Maisa. If I ask Maisa for like contract her biceps, can you stand please, Maisa? Make please like a contraction for biceps, your biceps muscle. Make a contraction for your biceps muscle. Can anyone help Maisa please? Maybe the boy like in. Yes, you are. Yes. Can you please stand and show us? No? You can see Maisa to your colleague. Exactly, yes.
It's for boys and
It doesn't matter for boys. It's an action on the body. For you can do it, so it also exists in women. This contraction, when I'm giving this contraction for the contract muscle or the specific muscle, we made a like mechanism for this contraction. Yes. In the normal physiology, we also interested in these mechanisms, the contraction according to the muscle or the skeletal muscles. If we ask again Maisa to control someone pupil on the eye, for example, if she has a light, to check the pupil like into the eye itself, to see the reaction, yes, into any reflex of any eye, yes. If we direct this light into an eye, yes, are you with me, guys, or like I'm speaking like very speed or quick?
No,
It's
no.
understood.
Yeah. Yes.
Exactly, yes. If we made like an stimulation into the pupil of the eye, yes, by our colleague Maisa, we will see there is a like reaction. What's the reaction gonna appear, guys?
When the light increases, the pupil will get smaller because it doesn't need to absorb so much light. When the light
Exactly.
decreases,
In a short word, it's a contraction to the pupil, yes?
yeah, exactly.
But in the normal like lighting, what will be like the mechanisms, or what will be like the situation of the pupil, guys? Will be dilated. Will be like a normal situation. Is that true?
Not fully, because sometimes.
I'm not talking about the fully. I'm like talking the normal physiology right now.
Oh, okay.
Mhm. So, as well, the mechanism study the reaction of a normal organisms. Yes, we took an example about the pupil. Can we also like anyone give me an example for a reaction? For a reaction.
No.
Let's like speak about the vessels with like temperature and high temperature and low temperature. What do you think, guys? Your vessels will like react into a high temperature.
Expand and.
No, I mean like contraction and dilations.
and
What do you think?
In high temperature, they will die.
No, we don't want random question.
Okay.
Maybe the blonde girl, yes, there. vessels in two conditions, high temperature and low temperature.
I can understand this question because I think always normal body are 37 degrees. What do you mean about high temperature and low temperature?
If you paid attention in the beginning, we said normal physiology is an experiment science. So the question is, more again, what will be the condition of the vessels in a high temperature environment or a medium, as well in the low temperature environment or a medium?
Okay, I think we can see when the environment is going to be hotter, our vessel is going to be the muscle of the smooth muscle of the vessel is going to be smoother and going to be
Dilated.
bigger, dilated, because our blood flowing do it easier and the water going to be to the tissue, and after that sweating to the surface to disturb that hotness from our body and be cooler of our body.
Exactly. As well, what will be the opposite, guys, in like low temperature and medium?
The vessel will.
No, someone else, please. Someone else,
Yeah, the
please.
vessels will get contracted. The muscles of the vessels will get contracted so they can maintain the heat in the vessels and in the blood. So it wouldn't get out of the body more than this.
Exactly. So, guys, really that's the experimental studying of the normal physiology. Is it clear right now?
Yes.
Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. As well, the aim of studying the normal physiology is to maintain the balance between like the normal function. As well, when you study like the blood pressure, glucose, breathing, any like function of the organisms, the aim of normal physiology to studying it in the when it is balanced, you know, in the normal range, like in other words. Here, the most important slide in this lecture, the concept of homeostasis. And this slide was written like a historically introduction to this word. I will just fly with the word dynamic homeostasis. Please just pay attention about the pronunciation, homeostasis, not hemostasis. But in the word hemostasis will be related to the blood. Yes, homeostasis is related to the balancing. Dynamic, the word dynamic, it's related to the power. So it's the power of the organisms to regulate itself by two types. According to the homeostasis, we will discuss two types of regulation. Believe me, these two words will live with you until the end of this academic year. The first word is the regulation, neural regulation and humoral regulation. I will just tell a few information as an introduction to the neural regulation. The normal body, since the development of the embryo or the fetus, starting from neural crest, as well developing to the spinal cord, medulla oblongata, midbrain, as well to the pons, subcortical and cortex. Please don't play with the phones and pay attention to the lecture. That's in the normal way. The much higher place regulates all the sub-organisms or the sub-organs. Is it clear what I'm telling, guys? So, which is like the highest level of controlling here?
The cortex of
Cortex, yes? So it's like occupy the highest level. As well, there is like controlling according to the medulla oblongata, midbrain and bones as well, but the highest level of controlling is the cortex. So the cortex is responsible for all the controlling mechanisms into the human body. If there is any damage to this, to the cortex or switching off of the mechanisms of the cortex, will be also like inhibition of many body functions. We will not discuss these things because we are always like aiming to understand the normal physiology. So that's one point according to the neural regulation. And just pay attention that as much as the level is high, will control the sub-organisms. That's according to the neural regulation. Any question? Please, any question? No? Clear or understood? I hope so. According to the humoral regulation, we will study like 3 or 4 mechanisms. We will study like the hormones regulation, the endocrine function of many organisms. As well, we will study the gases. We will study as well organic and inorganic substances and its role to maintain or to make an homeostasis into the human body. Please, is it clear what I'm, just 1 minute. Is it clear the word homeostasis as a term and as a classification?
Yes, that's clear.
I believe that it's clear, but I'm just asking the guys in the end of this room. Is it clear, guys? Okay. As well here, if you can see with me, it's a picture which explains the... Any question, please? No?
No, just the details of the picture is not clear.
You are right, because the quality of this picture not good enough. Yeah, you can like in the end of the lecture you may take a picture from lab. Is it okay? So guys, here the starting of the normal physiology, it starts from the chemical levels. Yes, from the chemical levels have atoms as well molecules. The moleculars we will not discuss according to it. That's the aim of the biochemistry. Is that true? After that, the stimulation or like the transmission of neural or humoral regulation will pass through this moleculars into what? Into smooth muscle cells. Just now we are taking like the musculoskeletal system as an example. So the transmission will be like transfused from the atoms to the cells. And which science is interesting with the cells or tissues? Which science? We spoke that in the atoms or like moleculars with the biochemistry, yes? Cells and tissues, guys, what do you think? Sorry? No, it's histology, yes? Someone was telling the truth. It is the histology, yes. Okay, from the tissue levels, all the transmissions of this factors or like a transmitter will pass through the organs. And which science is also studying the organs? Someone was telling true, yes. Anatomy, that's true. And we are not also interested in anatomy. So that when you are telling in normal physiology, you have to tell like the mechanisms, the aims, the purposefulness of an organisms, not the localization, classification, internal or structure, external or internal structure. No, that's the aim of normal anatomy and histology as well. So, but in the organ system, studying the organ system mechanisms, it's the subject or the aim of normal physiology, yes? After that, you know, if there is an action into the system, yes, there will be a relation between the society and our bodies itself. Is that true or not? Is that true, guys?
Yes.
There will be a relation between the external environment and the human body itself. I guess you have started studying hygiene, yes?
Hygiene, yes.
Not yet? It will be close, I believe, or like in the... It's in this year, yes?
We don't know.
Don't you have in your schedule hygiene?
No,
Not yet, yes?
not yet.
So, the relation between the external environment and the organisms itself, it will be like in the sociology by the hygiene science, which we all always like not interesting as well. So, it will be like occupied on the organism systems, mechanisms, the aim of it, and the studying of the regulation of an organism. As an homeostasis, there is here like a definition of it, like scientific definition. Is it clear in the picture or it's not?
Yes.
Okay. According to the regulation, humoral and neural regulation, what do you think? It's an external or internal reaction into the body? Maisa? What's your name?
External. Mysa.
Maisa. Maisa, what do you think? Is internal or external reaction? And why? When you are studying a human body, yes? You will study the, let me say, environmental factors or internal human body factors. What do you think?
It's internal.
Internal, yes. And why, guys, it's internal?
Because you know we should study the things that happen in our body when the things change in the environment. So we already know about the environment, so we should study the inside.
Exactly. Please remind always, what's your name?
So again.
Soyan?
So again.
Soyan.
So again,
So again.
so
Sorry,
again.
it's my fault. I have a problem really with names. Please always like remember your colleagues' words because homeostasis, especially, I believe me, this question in the final exam, you will not pass normal physiology if you will not understanding the humoral or neural regulation of breathing, cardio, or like digestions, because it will be like anyway in the final exam question. Yes, humoral regulation. That will be like if you have no chance to answer any question, any of the examiners will ask you, okay, just tell me like an example and what does it mean the humoral regulation according to the heart, for example. Okay, and what does it mean like the neural regulation? Tell me about the neural regulation to the heart, external and internal. You know, so the internal factors, it's the internal which factors are happening into the body itself and affect into the body itself, yes? But the external factors, lifestyle factors appearing in the external environment and could affect the body itself. Is it true?
Yes, that's true.
Okay. How do you take a picture from here?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Here, guys, homeostasis parameter. What does it mean, parameter, please? Yes, you. Yes, you are. What does it mean, parameter? No, the one after, like, yes, you. Yes, you are. What does it mean, parameter? Yes, please. What does it mean, parameter? You don't know. Okay, what does it mean, please, parameter? Yes, you may. You don't know. Your colleague, I know you know. And what else in the end, please? What does it mean, parameter?
Parameter is the...
No, you are very good today. Someone else we want, please. No? So I will return to, please. What does it mean, parameter?
For example, the teams are changing. For example, the CO2 high or down, the O2 high or down. To measure parameter, we can make measure it and say, okay, there are changes, so the environment changes, so our body should do something to make it normal.
No, I'm just talking about the parameter, not how you measure. It's true. It's like a unit for measurement. Yes, it's a unit of measurement. It was too late. Sorry. Okay. And what do you think? What's the name of measurement of the temperature? What's the name of the machine or like
Thermometer.
thermometer? Yes, and so on. Yes. If you want to measure the homeostasis, there is many parameter. Yes, it will be like appear. Maybe we will see here like some examples, and as well in the common lessons, we will see the most important parameters and studying them during the normal physiology classes. Yes. Here, guys, there's two words, rigid and non-rigid fluctuate. When you will be asked about the classification of homeostasis, you will be able to tell that there is two type or two classification of homeostasis, rigid and non-rigid. Both of them are like related to the atoms, the molecular, the heavy, or like let me say, the mass of these moleculars which exist in these substances. I don't know if there is like a table here. Yes, here as an award, the rigid substances always into the blood. That's always you have to understand and to know to keep it in your mind. Non-rigid, I can tell you like as in a one word, most of it like it's organic and non-organic substances. Is it clear the definition? What is like the difference between rigid and non-rigid? Please, in the end, the last one, yes. What's the difference between rigid and non-rigid? Fluctuate. No, the one like beside you. You don't know. The last one, like in the right. No one. Yes, you. Yes, you don't know. Yes, you are. Yes, exactly. Then I asked you many times, guys. What does mean? What's the difference between rigid and non-rigid? Please, what's the difference between rigid and non-rigid?
The rigid is always in the blood, but non-rigid it could be substances and non-substances in the blood.
Exactly, yes. And as a parameter, what's the aim? Why we spoke about the parameter? Please pay attention about this. What's very important to understand. Parameter in the next lesson we will understand and we will be able to calculate the heaviness or the mass of an molecule. That also could be help and assist to understand the difference between rigid and non-rigid. Usually, the rigid is very like light, not heavy, as comparing to the mass of the non-rigid. That's why when you will study like the transfusing between the vessels and extra membrane, we will understand that not all the substances can like cross this membrane. Is that true or not?
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah, not all substances can.
Yes, there is substances into the flowing into the blood vessels, and it will be always like into the circulation, cannot be crossed into the intracellular. Yes or not?
Yes.
And according to this, the mass of this moleculars has been classified into rigid and non-rigid substances. Have you took a picture here? Okay. Here as well, the rigid. We took an example about the blood pH. Do you know what does blood pH, guys, or not?
The acidity.
It means it's acidic or
No, pH it's not just pH is a parameter. It's a parameter. That's the first example about the parameter. Here, according to the pH of any liquid, let me say saliva, blood, pancreatic juice, gastric juice, whatever, you were correct in one point. That's a parameter to measure the acidosis or alkalines, yes? And keep in mind, please, you may write this information. All the substances, you may write this information. Up to 6, pH up to 6, you may write it, guys. It's very important to understand. Substances up to 6. What do you think? When the pH more than 6 is acidosis or alkalis? No, I'm asking your colleagues there. Do you understand me? You, yes. Can you understand? Can you answer, please? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Please, yes. That's true. And like below to this number, acidos. And as much as the proton or the acidity like is low, the higher acidity. Is understood? For example, like, can you compare which is the more like acidity? pH equal to 3 or pH equal to 4?
3.
To 3, yes? And vice versa, yes? When it's like higher than, it will be like more close to the alkaline measurement. That's according to the blood pH. As well here, guys, there is blood calcium ions. One of the like chemical blood analysis. There is like 100 type of medical blood analysis, and here we have put here the calcium. The average of the calcium is from 2.2 to 3 millimole in 1 or per liter, let me say. Oncotic plasma pressure, it's one type of the pressure transfusion between the vessels or plasma to the vessels with the plasmic membrane. And here its measurement has been measurement between like 28 to 30 from the gap junction from vessels to the tissue or into the tissue itself. Here the non-rigid examples, we have the sugar, arterial blood pressure as well respiration rate, and chloride parameter. Is it clear what I'm like telling right now, or like blondie points?
No, it's clear.
It's clear, guys.
Why calcium is rigid, but color is non-rigid?
I couldn't understand you, please. Can you stand and just tell me what's your question?
Why calcium, calcium is rigid, but color is non-rigid?
No. Good question. If you remember, in the first moment, we spoke about the heaviness or the mass of the molecular, yes? That's why it's not a suitable time right now to give all the information about the parameter of calcium and chloride. But it's clear here, it has been written here. How much the parameter of calcium here? 2.2 to 3. So it's smaller, yes? As well, if I compare, I guess it's very clear here, like as a to compare between them. Is it okay?
Yes.
Great. Here the same information that we were telling about. Yes. If you remember as well here, we spoke about the neural regulation and from the cortex into the subcortical, pons, middle brain, medulla oblongata, which, like as I mentioned before, the rule function of those organisms or high control organisms to control and to maintain the peripheral organisms regulation or function. Humoral regulation. I would ask you a question. You all know like the thyroid gland, yes? Thyroid glands.
Thyroid, yeah.
Which hormone produced by the thyroid gland? Thyroxine, yes? Thyroxine. The dysfunction or like dysregulation according to this hormone can make a problem into the heart rate, breathing, the mass or the oversized mass of the body. So since it's one of the parameters of the humoral regulation, it's also playing a role into the humoral regulation. So the first one is endocrine function or the hormones, histamine in the allergic situation, thyroid glands. Most of the hormones, dopamine, serotonin, playing a role to maintain the other functions. For example, serotonin during like giving a birth, like make relaxations to the uterus, so it makes the delivery more easy and so on. What else? That's one example about the humoral regulation. Yeah, I think that's everything. Do you have any question, guys? That's according to the first lecture of the homeostasis, sorry. We haven't finished yet, it's only the first lecture because you missed the second lecture. Please, that's the first lecture. Do you have any question according to it?